everyone, this is Eugene Roddenberry.
Dr. Mohammed Noor.
Adam Nimoy, Leonard Nimoy's son.
This is Leonard Crowfoot.
This is Dr. Aaron McDonald, Star Trek Science Advisor and Lieutenant Commander McDonald on Star Trek Prodigy.
And you're listening to
Humanist Trek.
Humanist Trek.
You're listening to Humanist Trek.
the Humanist Trek Podcast.
And you're listening to Humanist Trek, a fabulous, fabulous show.
Enjoy.
And don't worry, you can do your Temporal Mechanics 101 homework later.
Back at the mall, Riker and Alexana are chatting as the waiter from that cafe in the top of this episode is being perp walked with his hands cuffed behind his back. And Riker's like, Jesus, this is no way to live. Alexana asks, for us or them? And he's like, both of you. This is stupid.
Yeah. It's arresting people out, just yanking them off the street and arrest them and then disappearing them.
What?
That's really fucked up.
Yeah.
That's really fucked
Who
up.
would do shit like that?
Yeah.
Perhaps I could use this as an excuse to go to those far-off planets with little polka-dotted people if necessary, and be able to talk about love, war, nature, God, sex, all those things that go to make up the excitement of the human condition.
This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
Welcome aboard.
Jean-Luc Picard to the starship Enterprise.
You want to review your rapid progress?
That nonsense is centuries behind us. To the starship Enterprise.
Oh, yeah?
That is enough, damn it!
Tempo, mon capitan.
To the starship Enterprise.
You can't deny that you're still a dangerous, savage child race.
Of the planet Earth.
You just don't get it, do you, Jean-Luc? That is the exploration that awaits you. Not mapping stars and studying nebula, but charting the unknown possibilities of existence.
Peldor Joy, and welcome to Humanist Trek. It's a comedy Star Trek podcast about the humanism in Star Trek. I'm Sarah Ray.
And I'm Allie Ashmead.
And welcome to Sports Talk. It's Super Bowl Sunday as we are recording.
and it's also we're a few days into the Olympics, so
yeah,
lots of sports ball stuff.
Yeah, I got to figure out how to watch some of the curling because you know that's my jam. I love curling, and I still want to go do a class. I want to go do a learn to curl class. I think that would be fun.
Okay. But yeah, I've been watching it. I watched, I think it was UK versus somebody this morning, and then it was US and South Korea yesterday. So yeah, I really want to understand the rules. I need someone to I read it. I need someone to just explain it to me.
I learned by watching because they kind of explain as they're playing, you know. But yeah, absolutely love it.
Yep.
Otherwise, cold weather, fuck that. I'm not like there's a new sport this year that is mountaineering or some shit where they have to like go up the mountain with one set of skis and then flip to another set of skis and go back down the mountain. That sounds miserable.
Hey, it's snowshoeing. I mean, it's basically hiking in the snow, and then once you make it, then you get an easy ride down. Yeah, that's. Yeah. I wonder why they decided to. Are they just getting bored with all the other shit that they've introduced, and they just hey, let's make something harder.
This is such white people bullshit too. Let's be honest. Let's go out in the cold and climb up a mountain in skis. Fuck that. Oh my God. But there's quite a few people from Colorado representing Team USA this year. Which is great.
I watched this kid from Colorado. I forget his name, but he was doing the snowboarding. He didn't win. He came in he was just knocked off the podium. Oof. Came in fourth. I was watching snowboarding and it was the finals and they did the ceremony and everything. And then I know that the commentators didn't know that the mic was on.
Oh, shit.
Because they did the ceremony, they did the music, and then next thing you know, he's like, man, this was so boring. This was absolutely boring.
What?
And he starts talking about the qualifiers were something like this. He said the qualifiers were more exciting than this. And then he got quiet because then I think he realized
somebody was like,
shut the fuck up. And then he didn't say shit else. And then they just continued with the music. I'm like, I was dying laughing. I'm like, oh, he messed up.
Oh, that's funny.
And then, let's see what else happened. Lindsey Vonn had a major bad accident. Don't know how she is. She'd retired like a while ago.
Really?
She's in her 40s. Like but she decided to come back to try to ski.
Okay.
And don't you wonder like why? Like I get it if that's like all you're trying to hang on to that feeling or whatever and girl, and she had just already torn something before the Olympics, but she had a bad accident.
Right. Yeah, she had just recovered.
She had a really bad accident. All I know, I didn't see it, but all I know is that she was screaming and they airlifted her. So I hope she's okay. By the time this comes out, we'll know how she is. And then, one more thing I just found out this morning, and I missed it, but I think it was the U.S. bobsled team. This isn't funny because it's not funny. But so there's like 4 of them that's supposed to jump in. You know how they start running and push? Well, something happened. Miscommunication, miscalculation. Only one of them got into the bobsled. The other 3 went
sliding down the chute.
Went flying, and it was bad.
Oh man!
And I'm like, damn. So yeah,
shit.
I like the drama. That bad?
Yeah, that checks out. Well, speaking of drama at the Olympics, Trump was talking about sending ICE to the Olympics. Did they do that, or was that just some bullshit?
Fuck, would you send ICE to a foreign country?
Listen,
look,
you met this people?
The dude has frontal lobe dementia, or there's something, and he shits his pants daily. So okay. So don't even talk to me about what he's doing because it doesn't make any sense. It's never gonna make any sense.
Well, I'm not sure whether like sending ICE to the Olympics, were they supposed to be the terrorists or protect against some terrorists? And sometimes it can get confusing about who the bad guys and the good guys are supposed to be. Not so much with ICE, they're the bad guys. But this week on Star Trek The Next Generation,
the line is blurred.
The line is very blurred. It's Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 3, Episode 12, The Search for Crusher. I mean, the high ground.
Commander, you'll soon be getting an intruder alert.
What? I've got something, sir.
Intruder alert, sir.
It's an old-style starship, sir. Constellation class, heading this way under impulse com.
Number 1, kindly take charge of our guests until we have time to decide what we're going to do with them. Sir, number 1, keep them out of my way.
Come in.
Allie, I want to tell you about my bra.
Okay.
As a trans woman, finding a bra that actually fits right has been a fucking nightmare. If you have a large torso, like I have, bra makers just assume you have giant breasts, which I do not. So I kept getting too tight around the chest or giant cups that my little itty bitty titties just couldn't fill. Then I found UnderOutfit. The idea of going to a store to get measured and fitted, that ranks somewhere between a transporter malfunction and a first contact gone wrong. A terrifying prospect, but UnderOutfit's 180-day return and exchange policy means I can try different styles, sizes, and colors right here in the comfort of my crew quarters. If something doesn't work, I just send it back. No judgment, no pressure.
Oh, nice.
Wash it, wear it, wash it again, and you can still send it back within 180 days if it's not working for you.
Nice. Okay, cool.
I discovered the comfort shaping bra, and it's become my everyday under uniform go-to. Supportive, comfortable, and my favorite part, the pads are sewn in.
Oh, thank God.
No more fishing the pads through that little fucking hole in the corner.
Where can I get some of those? Because I'm so sick of fishing, like you said, fishing those pads to where when I wash my bras, I've got those little zip container things where you fold it and that way they don't come apart. But I'm sick of doing that, and I would love it. Where do I get it? Because sign me up.
Humanisttrek.com/UnderOutfit.
And they've got shapewear too?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Sold. Sold. I'm so fucking tired of those types of bras. To where I only wear sports bras these days, and I just forget the underwire, forget the padding.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I measured myself right here, and this is like one of the few places where the measurements match the product, and there's like loads of different styles too, right?
Okay,
So
those I don't like. I want the pullover with no clasp. I hate the clasp. I don't do that.
Allie, UnderOutfit has those too.
Awesome.
Adjustable straps, not adjustable straps, like there's all the fucking choices.
I will be shopping today.
Attention crew, UnderOutfit is now the official underwear of Humanist Trek. They have bras, underwear, activewear, shapewear, and more. Get 15% off your first order at humanisttrek.com/underoutfit. The once peaceful planet of Rutia 4 has recently experienced violent protests and terrorist attacks by a separatist group demanding autonomy and self-determination for their homeland on one of these continents. They're not a member planet, but the Federation has a long trading relationship here, and this week we're door-dashing some prescriptions from CVS.
Yeah, we're totally playing like DoorDash or Uber Eats or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Data is wandering around what looked to me like a shopping mall.
Oh my God.
With ferns everywhere.
I'm telling you, I wrote, this looks like we're at the food court of the River Ridge Mall.
Yes.
And Worf and Crusher are eating some Sbarros, pizza.
Yep.
And they're just sitting there. I'm like, Jesus Christ, we're with this.
And then the explosion goes off, and that looks like it's the entrance to the JCPenney. It's definitely an anchor store of some kind. Big explosion.
Yep, they shot it at the River Ridge Mall.
So good. So the place is flooded with mall cops, but Crusher pushes past them to see to the wounded. And she's like, whistle, 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 lifeguard needs assistance. You with the big forehead, go get an AED and call 911. And Worf's like, doctor, it's not safe. We got to get out of here. But she like pulls rank on his ass and orders him to go get these supplies.
Yeah.
Then a mall cop comes over and tells her, like, the Klingon is right. You better get, girl. And even Data makes an attempt to get Crusher to leave, but she's the first responder. And if I know anything from my first responder training, you don't stop doing compressions until the paramedics get there.
Right.
Worf comes back with some of those ale bottles like the one you got me. And it's not blue liquid this week, but if it's the same mouthwash, it should be a decent antiseptic.
I think so. Some sort of Romulan alcohol.
I love those bottles. They're very neat.
Yeah. So Data calls Dad on the phone. He's like, Dad, she won't listen to me, basically. He calls Picard and tells him that there's been an incident and Crusher's not going to leave. And she's being stubborn. And so Picard calls Crusher.
Yeah, he's like, put her on the phone. Like that's going to work. And
Put
as
your
expected,
mom on.
She gets on the phone and immediately goes, I know what you're going to say, and I don't want to hear it. I'm not going anywhere. Data and Worf can go, but I am staying right here. And she hangs up.
So yeah, she hangs up on him. And of course, Data and Worf aren't going to leave her. Even though she's like, well, you don't have to stay. But of course, they're not going to leave her.
No.
And back on the D, Riker's like, well, I don't want to be in the transporter when to greet her when she comes back, because he didn't want to deal with her attitude either. So they're gonna hold their position until the Rushian medics arrives, and then suddenly a dude pops out of like thin air, like a transporter but cooler.
Yeah. It's almost Q-like.
Yeah.
And I didn't think of that until I started doing my notes for next week's episode, which is a Q episode. And so then now I'm thinking about this going, oh, that's a very Q-like effect. They just kind of flash into existence.
Yeah. And then they grab Crusher and they go away with her.
Transport room, do you have a lock on the away team?
Aye, sir. Shall I transport them?
I don't want to be in the transporter room to greet her.
Huddle in the conference room. They're unable to track Crusher by her comm badge, so it's either disabled or they're in a shielded location. And Worf thinks the whole thing was a setup specifically to abduct Crusher.
Yeah.
Riker's like, but why? This has nothing to do with us. And Worf's like, it does now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
the scene changes to a cave. They're in a cave, and this dude carries a plate to Crusher, and he's like so concerned about it. Are you hungry? And she doesn't say anything, but he decides he wants to be friendly and introduce himself. My name is Kirill Flynn. He's asking her what her name is, but he already knows she's a doctor, and he already knows that she's part of the Enterprise. And he's like, I always wanted to know what it's like to travel across the galaxy. Like, he's making conversation like he didn't just fucking kidnap her and kill some people. But yeah, she still doesn't answer.
They named this guy Kirill Finn, and all I can think of is Errol
Flynn. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're going to call him Errol Flynn.
Sure. Flynn is played by Richard Cox, who early in his acting career played a hippie kid on Sanford and Son, which I brought back because we just talked about it on a recent episode. He is known for Cruising, The Vindicator, and Executive Suite, none of which I've seen.
Were they like 80s B movies or something?
Yeah, I don't know. But he played David Jacobs in 324 episodes of Guiding Light.
Oh yeah, I knew it was on the
soaps.
But he totally had that 80s hair, like that
whole that
80s hair.
Back in the ready room, Picard and Troy are having the "your mom was abducted" talk with young Wesley.
Have the boy sent to the bridge, number 1.
My name is Wesley.
It's Wesley I wanted to speak to you about. The boy?
My name is Wesley.
He seems to have developed some sort of special attachment to the boy.
My name is Wesley.
Did he say Wesley? The boy?
My name is Wesley.
What is the boy doing here?
My name is Wesley.
The boy. Where is he, please?
My name is Wesley.
The boy? He's outside.
My name is Wesley.
Wesley Crusher, report to the bridge. On the double.
But this scene is really about communicating some key information about situations like this. The ANTIFA separatists have been trying for generations to secede Texas from the U.S. Kidnapping a Federation officer just might get the attention of the government, get them to acknowledge the ANTIFA's demands, maybe even give in to those demands. So it's a tactic. At least that's what Picard thinks is happening here, but he promises Wesley that his prime directive this week is to get his Boothang back.
And of course, Wesley wants to be part of the away team, but Picard's like, no, you're needed here. First of all, we have to figure out how they're moving around, and we think you're the best person to probably figure that out.
Yeah, that's right in Wesley's wheelhouse.
Yeah.
After Wes leaves, Troy tells Picard he needs to be strong for Wesley, and Picard drops a truth bomb. History has shown us that strength may be useless when faced with terrorism. Back on the planet, Picard and Riker are down at the local police precinct in Chief Alexana's office.
Boss Hog. Boss Hog and what's his name?
God. Oh.
Boss Hog and Roscoe Picole.
Roscoe, yeah. Alexana is played by Carrie Keene, who is also known for stuff I haven't seen. Hitting Home, Distant Thunder, The Incubus, Hot Pursuit. No, none of those. This conversation reminded me a lot of a discussion you and I had recently about how different sides in a situation have these images of who the other is. And she puts hers right out for all to see. While she admits they don't usually take hostages, she says these aren't people, they're animals. Fanatics who kill without remorse or conscience, who think nothing of killing innocent people. So she's got this very clear, biased view on the Antifa terrorists or whatever.
And because she's only seen the aftermath of like what they've done,
Yeah.
The violence. And the
she's only seen it
atrocities.
from her side, from her point of view. Anyway, back to Picard's Boothang. The ANTIFA started using this transporter tech a couple months ago. They have no way to track or detect it until there's an ANTIFA terrorist standing in front of you with a heater pointed at your head. But they were able to recover some of the devices from dead terrorists. They just haven't been able to figure out how they work. So, of course, we're going to take one back to the D to take it apart and study it.
She kind of asks in a sideways, low down, low key way that maybe if we found ourselves in possession of some Federation weapons, we could shift the balance back in our favor. And Picard's like, no, absolutely not. We're not, we're not here. We're not involving ourselves in this.
He leaves Riker on the planet to assist in the search for Dr. Crusher. And Alexana's like, fine, man, whatever. And Picard's like, you don't sound very optimistic about this. And she says she knows her enemy, and they don't leave much room for optimism. Back in the Star Trek caves, Beverly is trying to sleep when Finn comes back in. He takes off her shackles and handcuffs and tries to get her to eat again. And he's like, what's the point in not eating? You're the one who suffers. You're the only one who suffers. But he does reveal that her not eating does bother him. Like, this is clearly his love language. And everybody knows somebody like this. My dad and his mother were both like this. They would open every fucking cabinet in the kitchen. You want some cereal? No? How about mini donuts? I got some Star Crunches. You want some of those? There's some Cheez-Its in here. Just they go through every cabinet trying to offer you food. Yeah.
I guess I don't understand. He's like, you've kidnapped someone and you want to feed them. Sorry, buddy. I don't trust you. But yeah. she does eat.
This is I think maybe the start of that uncomfortable dichotomy between, like, these guys are supposed to be the evil terrorists who are just bad people in every possible respect.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start to get to know who they are and what they're about. And,
yeah,
then you sort of have to start questioning what you thought you believed.
Yeah. And I guess I'm playing devil's advocate because
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, the only thing we've seen from you is violence, and then you've taken me.
Yep.
So,
she's not going to trust him. Absolutely not.
Yeah. So she finally does start talking and asks why, what do you want? And he does admit that he needs a doctor. And he heard that she was on the Federation flagship, so she has to be one of the best. And he doesn't tell her where he gets all his information from, but he knows that the D has medical supplies and that they've supplied them to Russia. And he wants to know, why are you an ally for the Russians? And she's like, we're not allies. We're just in the middle. Like, look, we're just bringing medical supplies. We aren't taking sides or anything. She is pointing out that, hey, you hurt people. If they needed medical supplies, it's because of you. And he kind of snaps and he's like, okay, you're finished. Get up. And then she's like, oh, I have a son. Don't hurt me. But he does say, I don't see any reason to kill you. You'll be with him again.
Yeah. Again, just what is this dude's deal? And yeah.
You see, the Ansata separatists have been trying for generations to free themselves from the rule of the Eastern continent. And if they can get the government just to acknowledge their demands, then kidnapping your mother will have served its purpose. I think that's what they may be after, but it may not. Frankly, Wesley, I don't care. My only concern is to get your mother back.
Finn leads Crusher into some kind of triage area in the caves and hands her tricorder, and she starts scanning patients and says she needs instruments from the Enterprise to actually diagnose this problem because it's bigger than a tricorder can handle. And for a moment, it sounds like he's considering letting her call Picard. She reiterates, like, again, we're not allied with the Rutians. They're just, we're here on an errand of mercy. And he says, and since the Federation doesn't want to take sides, they'll send you the supplies you need. And she's like, yeah, Picard he's a good dude. He's a nice guy. He will, if I tell him what's going on, he will definitely help us out. But also what's not spoken is that would also give away their position.
Mm-hmm.
So instead, Finn has some of those medical supplies that were delivered to the Russians stolen and brought here.
He stole them, fucker. I mean, but if you're the head of the Resistance, of course you're going to think ahead.
Yeah. Yep. So he snatched up some of those medical supplies and had them here just in case she happened to say something like that. And so then this young boy comes in carrying these supplies. Back in Alexana's office, Riker is getting a history lesson. She's got a list of over like 5,000 names. And Riker's like, you really think all these people belong to Antifa? And she says, no, the actual Antifa organization probably has like 200 members, but all these other people are Antifa sympathizers. You know, they showed up to protests and shit.
Oh, and we've been monitoring their social media, so we know which way they're leaning. We've been monitoring their comments, so we've got like a list. We're compiling a list.
Mm-hmm. See, this all started about 70 years ago when Rutia denied the Ansata's application for Texas to succeed. She says that gave them a noble cause, but it's devolved into just violence for violence sake at this point. And Riker's like, damn, girl, you hate them as much as they hate you. And she says she used to be a moderate, but, 6 months of senseless violence and 3 attempts on her own life moved her way far to the right. But the incident that really pushed her over the edge was a terrorist bomb that destroyed a school bus with 60 kids and left no survivors.
Gosh, does every planet like have a school bus story? Like I
think so.
A bus of school kids? Like
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Antifa said it was a mistake. They're like, no, it was the police transport we were trying to blow up, but that doesn't make it right or bring back those kids.
Yeah.
And so that's the day that she became radicalized against the radicals.
Back in the cave hospital, there's this little kid that's helping Bev do her thing. And she's like, thank you. You can grow up to be a doctor someday if you grow up.
Oof.
I know, right?
This little dude is Christopher Petier.
Oh, the little kid?
Mm-hmm. Who played Zach in Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Oh, man.
This seems to be his first screen credit, and tragically, the actor himself didn't really get to grow up because he died of an accidental drug overdose just 2 months after his 24th birthday.
Oh, geez. Man, that line that Beverly said, if you grow up, geez, that's really messed up.
Yeah, there's no way you could have known. But yeah, 24.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. It was tough for child actors.
Yeah, he got into drugs and had some trouble. Yeah.
She goes over to Flynn and she tells him that these people are dying because their DNA is warped somehow and it's distorting their entire cellular chemistry. The only thing she can do is make them comfortable, but the damage is just too far gone. And she's like, if I could detect it earlier, I might be able to reverse the damage, but I just don't know. So she wants to know what happens. And so Errol Flynn says it's this technology they're using. It's called an inverter. It's given them an edge over the Rutia, and it basically allows them to do dimensional shifting. That's why they can pop in and pop out everywhere. But she's like, wait, you can't do that to human tissue. But those are the risks. And she goes and scans him and she's like, oh, you're fucked too. Not as bad as everybody else, but you're going to die. And then he says, yeah, well, a dead man's martyr is worth 10 posturing leaders. Yeah.
Back on the D, Data, Wes, and Geordi are taking this device apart. And Geordi's like, guys, come check this out. There's a faint nuclear vibration. During the during the terrorist movements. And this gives Wes an idea. And Wesley Hader's going to be up in our mentions again this week because Wes is the one to figure this all out. He remembers some odd thing they studied last year in astrophysics class, something about folded space transport or something. And that leads them to the Elway theorem, which Data points out was abandoned as the theorem was proven both inaccurate and fatal.
So they call up the files on the Elway theorem, John Elway theorem. Sorry. And Wesley's like, what if they're using interdimensional travel? The nuclear vibrations are the same. And unfortunately, it would be untraceable by any standard method of detection. And using it would be irrational. But Picard's like, well, we're not dealing with irrational people. So they have to figure out a way to trace it. So LaForge is like, well, maybe an adaptive subspace echogram? Data points out that, well, anybody using this is probably going to have significant internal damage. And then Picard's like, well, that's probably why they needed a doctor.
Mm-hmm. Back at the mall, Riker and Alexana are chatting as the waiter from that cafe in the top of this episode is being perp walked with his hands cuffed behind his back. And Riker's like, Jesus, this is no way to live. Alexana asks, for us or them? And he's like, both of you. This is stupid.
Yeah. It's arresting people out, just yanking them off the street and arrest them and then disappearing them.
What?
That's really fucked up.
Yeah.
That's really fucked
Who
up.
would do shit like that?
Yeah.
She talks about how her predecessors, who were eventually murdered, were way more harsh than she is. People would be brought into the PD for questioning and then just disappear forever. So, yeah, it must have been run by ICE agents.
Mm. And then he sees they're handcuffing two young, super young children. Goodness gracious.
Yep. She's like, really, this little boy is a threat to you? And she says that the bomb on that school bus was set by a teenager. In a world where children blow up children, everyone's a threat. And my God, just imagine, like, we're devolving into that world where you just can't trust anybody, and everywhere you look is threat and danger, and like, oh my God.
And fear begets fear,
Yes.
and it's just yeah. We're heading to this.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's all fed by that idea that this in-group, out-group, us versus them, we're the good guys, they're the bad guys, they think the opposite. And like, we don't ever sit down at a table and have lunch and talk. So it's easy for us to go, oh, well, these people are this way.
But I will, on the other hand, devil's advocate is like, why would you sign up to be an ICE agent? You know what's going to be asked of you. And if you are okay with it, then
you're the bad guy.
Then you are the bad guy. Sorry. Yeah.
Yes. Beverly and her new nurse are tending to the patients as Finn sits nearby sketching, and Crusher comes over and notices he's drawing her hand holding another hand. And she's like, damn, that's really good. You should be drawing, not killing people. And he's like, meh, I can do both. What?
he's like, I take my killing seriously.
Mm-hmm.
But he's sort of like, he's not trying to be funny at all. And it's not funny. It's more just stark honesty.
Yeah. Well, and this sets off another conversation like the one we had the other week, where the writers of history books determine whether you're remembered as a hero or a villain. Finn calls Crusher an idealist for not understanding the killing that he has to do. And she starts talking about how, well, she lives in an ideal culture and they don't have to worry about shit like this. But he's read up on Earth history for some reason. Okay, that's a stretch.
Well, I guess the history books all of them haven't been burned because they made them out. They made them out into space.
And he thinks of himself as a modern day George Washington fighting for his people's independence.
Yeah.
Crusher says Washington was a military general, not a terrorist. And Finn argues that those labels, like that song in Wicked, are determined by who wins and loses. Win, you're a general. Lose, you're a terrorist.
I bet the native indigenous people probably thought he was a terrorist. But again, it all depends on who you ask.
Yeah, look at the way the perception of Christopher Columbus has changed since even I was a child.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a fucking hero that we learned about in school as a kid. And now as an adult, I'm like, fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Fuck all of them. It makes you want to take a completely different look at what they told you in class.
Yeah, it's all fucking propaganda, man.
Yeah, the winner writes the history books, you know.
And in our country, Texas writes the school textbooks.
Which is, anyway.
Finn gets a serious speech here. Crusher cuts him off and she's like, you're killing innocent people. Have you killed so many people that you're blind to the immorality of what you're doing? And he says, well, how much innocent blood has been spilled for the cause of freedom in the history of your federation? How many good and noble societies have bombed civilians in war and wiped out whole cities? And now you enjoy the comfort that came from those battles they're killing, and you frown on my immorality?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're all comfortable. You don't have to deal with this, and you're looking at us from the outside. So you've no skin in the game until I kidnapped you. So you can judge, all you want.
To me, this says like This is an answer to all of the white people who are like, but I didn't own slaves, so why should I care about any kind of reparation or any kind of, like, I didn't do it, so why should I feel bad? It's because I benefit still today from the systems that were created on the backs of black slaves. That's it. That's what they're saying here.
And nobody, and I think it's starting to become more clear today because, hey, there's some white people that are being killed.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, wait. Wait.
Yeah.
That wasn't supposed to be us. We'll march and stuff, but hey, don't kill us. I'm sorry. That's the cost. And sadly, I don't want it to be the cost. I don't want anybody to die.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And he goes on to say, I am willing to die for my freedom, Doctor, and in the finest tradition of your own great civilization, I'm willing to kill for it too. Oof.
Burn.
Captain, anyone who is willing to transport in this manner would suffer significant internal damage that could be detected.
It sounds as though they may require the services of a doctor.
Riker is sitting in with Alexana's interrogations of witnesses to the bombing, and they bring in that waiter. And this is Katik Shaw, played by Mark Buckland. And this is the last of only 4 acting credits that this guy had. The others are L.A. Law, Tour of Duty, which I don't know, and Doogie Howser, MD, one of my favorite shows.
Oh, wow.
Then he moved behind the camera, and people probably know his work better as a producer-director. He worked on shows like Grimm, several episodes of Scrubs.
I love Grimm and Scrubs, which, by the way, Scrubs is coming back. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
NYPD Blue.
Oh, I love that show.
And The West Wing.
I never watched The West Wing.
I didn't either. I probably ought to.
Grimm is excellent. So is Scrubs. Scrubs is one of those comfort shows that I've watched over and over. The series over and over and over and over. And JD and what's his name are coming back. I'm so happy that they're coming back. Anyway, awesome. It's good to hear that he went on to continue to do good things. And
yep, he got behind the camera and like his career just took off. Katic insists he saw nothing. And Alexander's like, bullshit. We know you're working with Antifa. Where'd they take that doctor? But he says he doesn't know what they're talking about. So Riker takes the situation into his own hands, which is like way stepping across the line because he has no jurisdiction here. They're not Federation members. But anyway, he's like, fine. Go back and tell your people that the Federation wants the doctor back and we're willing to hear your terms. And of course, this pisses Alexana off.
But, they've taken a Starfleet officer, so I feel like he does have the right to step in.
That's fair, yeah.
You've taken one of our people, and you got something to say, we'll listen. We just want her back.
Mm-hmm.
And then he tells Alexana that you don't need to detain this young man any longer, and she's like, fine, get out.
And she says she'd normally have this dude followed, but we'll try it Riker's way for now. Riker makes the mistake of asking her if that's what she really wants, and she goes off. I want to go home, back to my country, and forget all of this bullshit.
On the bridge, they're doing that thing where they're talking through stuff, and they're talking about this dimensional jump that they're doing can create some subspace pressure modulation. And then they're thinking that they could set up a magnetosphere echogram that could monitor each of their movements, and then they'll be able to collect enough data to trace their power source, because that's really the thing. They got to find their power source. But they don't know how many jumps it's going to take in order to collect enough data to do that.
Data's got other things on his mind, too, what with his whole study of human nature and all. He doesn't understand why Antifa do what they do. He finds a lot of their behavior unnecessary and unacceptable, and Picard agrees. Data goes on to ask why those methods are often successful then. His recent study of armed rebellion shows that terrorism is an effective way to promote political change. And Picard's like, yeah, that's true, but the ends don't justify the means. He says he's never really subscribed to the theory that political power flows from the barrel of a gun. Fucking woke-ass captain. But then Data starts listing all of the times where political power most certainly has flown from the barrel of the gun.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, then it would be accurate to say that terrorism is acceptable when all options for peaceful settlement have been foreclosed. And Picard's like, girl, people have been struggling with that question for our entire existence.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the big question in the episode. When is it acceptable to do terrorist shit?
When you have no other choice. I mean, yeah.
And is it ever acceptable? Put a pin
It's
in
never.
that. We'll get back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get me started. Yeah. Back in the cave hospital, the Katic guy comes and reports to Finn that they're rounding everybody up, and Errol Flynn is like, it's because of her, isn't it? And of course, it's the Federation wants her to be let go. Meanwhile, they're filling up detention cells with their people. But Katic says that there's a Starfleet officer that wants to meet with you, and Finn is like, "Yeah, right. I'm sure he does." And then
Yeah.
and your Federation colleagues have engineered mass arrests to pressure me into doing so. And Crush is like, "No, this isn't us, you know." But Katic is reporting that Riker is working with the Russian police, so it's just a big misunderstanding, and because of the distrust, of course he's not gonna believe anything.
Yeah, all cops are bastards, and Riker's working with the cops, so he must be a bastard too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Finn's not gonna release her because he needs her here, but she can't help. She can't reverse the effects, or at least find the way to reverse the effects, because they're in a cave, for God's sakes.
I do love this moment because he's like, I need you here to work on this problem. And she's like, what? So I can find the cure for this dimensional shift thing? I can cure it right now. Quit using it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just don't do it anymore.
Yeah. And then she says, I got a life, I've got a son. And he says, is he on the ship? And she says, yes. And he's like, well, I'm sorry he's on the ship. Okay. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, and I think Crush is like, oh shit, what are you gonna do? Because, well, he's like, you've joined forces with the Russians against us.
And he's gonna blow up the damn ship.
No!
Maybe then somebody will listen.
This motherfucker. Oh, and then he says, well, you know what? I had a son too, and he died in detention. That's really fucked up.
Yeah. He also does a shifting of the blame here. Crusher's like, please don't fucking blow my ship up. But he's like, look, I'm not the one killing your son or anybody else up there. It's them. They're the
making
ones.
Me.
Yeah, they push my hand.
They're making me do it. Yeah, I think that's lame though. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yeah. This is his way of justifying the killing. He thinks he has no other choice. This is they forced him to take these measures.
And it might be true that he has no other choice, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Smash cut to the corridor of the D. Somebody trans-dimensionally warps in, or I don't know what you call it. A female terrorist jumps in, and there's two crewmen, and she shoots one of them, and the female crewman runs.
Okay. Put runs in quotes, though, because this was like a dainty little hop, skip, and jump that she did. This was not scared for my life running away. Go watch that moment again.
Yeah, she wasn't. I mean, I know what you're talking about.
It was funny.
She wasn't like, fuck, I need to get out of here. She's like,
yeah.
Oh, I think I should go. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Worf detects this on the bridge, and Wesley picks up the dimensional shift on their new makeshift scanner. Then more people start yoinking into engineering and firing shots. Geordi has to leap into a side room to avoid getting shot. Back on the bridge, they're getting casualty reports around the ship, and they find out that because these people are moving interdimensionally, force fields won't stop them, and they can't lock onto them with their transporters and beam them away or anything.
Fuck.
And Geordi watches as one of these terrorists places an explosive charge on the warp core, and then they all yoink away. And they're not able to lock onto the charge either to transport it away. So Picard starts calling for emergency evacuations and prepare to separate the saucer section.
And of course, Geordi's like, hang on.
Yeah. Yeah, Geordi's like, I can cut the wires and defuse this thing. Don't worry.
So he gets some kind of tool and he cuts it off of the warp core and he puts it on the floor. He takes his comm badge and sticks it on there and he tells the transporter room to lock onto his signal and transport it 2 kilometers off of the starboard nacelle. And Troy's all worried. Like Picard knows what's happening.
Of course.
So they transporter room complies and they transport it off and there's a boom in space and LaForge reports, calls back down to the bridge that he's fine, but he's got a man down in engineering.
And on the bridge, Wesley starts picking up more dimensional shifts, and before they can figure out what's happening, Finn and a woman flash onto the bridge and start licking shots. And Picard lands a sweet punch on Finn. That was so gratifying.
Yeah, he does. But Worf gets shot in the leg by a woman, but he shoots her. Does he shoot her? But
yeah.
I don't know if she dies or not.
I don't know. I don't think so.
But during the scuffle, Picard jumps on Errol Flynn, and next thing you know, all 3 of them vanish. So fuck, he's now got Picard.
And we go to commercial as a shackled Picard is walked into that cave room moments before Beverly returns to see him.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I've had enough of this. I want you to take a message back to your people. You tell them the Federation is willing to negotiate for the release of Dr. Crusher.
Riker.
She's a Starfleet officer. She's my responsibility. Your people have terms. We're willing to listen. We want her back. It's as simple as that. I don't think it's necessary to detain this gentleman any longer.
Get out.
Riker has brought Alexana to the bridge now, and Troy reports that Worf is recovering in sickbay, but 3 are dead and 4 wounded.
Oh my god! They've killed
several members of her crew.
You bastards!
Riker's like, what the fuck? I just asked if they would talk. And Alexana says, well, you have your answer. Good news, though. Wesley believes they will be able to detect the next dimensional shift and get a fix on the power source.
Back down in the rebel headquarters in the cave, Picard is telling Crusher what happened, or as far as what he saw. You know, Worf went down. He doesn't know if he's dead or alive, and there was other people. Wes was on the bridge, but he took cover, so as far as he knows, he thinks he's okay. Crusher's like, yeah, I'm here because they need a doctor because of the side effects of the transporting transdimensional bullshit that they're using. Picard's like, we're getting closer to being able to trace their movements. And actually, it was your son who put us onto this dimensional jump of theirs. He's been amazing. You know, he's going to make a fine officer. And they have like a little moment where, well, he's had a good role model.
Then they start arguing like a old married couple.
Yeah. So she's like, if I'd only gone back to the ship. And then Picard's like, well, I should have beamed you up without asking, you know, and she's like, well, I wouldn't have let you to do that. And she's like, you would do that without my permission. And he's like, yeah, because you don't follow orders and blah, blah, blah. So they're
so good.
Like a married couple. They're arguing.
Yep. Beverly's like, and consider this dismaying observation. This chamber has no windows and no doors, which offers you this chilling challenge. To find a way out. It's the Haunted Mansion.
There's no other way to get them out, other than to transport in with their transporter or use their transdimensional transporter and risk the health ramifications.
Picard says these terrorists are mad, but Beverly says she's not so sure now. The difference between a madman and a committed man willing to die for a cause, well, being in the middle of this whole thing has made that a lot more confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Picard tries to brush this off as the psychological effects of her being held hostage, but Beverly's not so sure. And then there's Finn. He's not at all what you'd expect for the leader of a terrorist organization. Picard's big mad that they tried to blow up his damn ship without cause, but Beverly says he did have cause. He did have his reasons. The medical supplies, the arrests. She's like, seriously, JLP, if we look at our part in all of this, we're not, like, our hands are not that clean. But this conversation is interrupted.
But Picard has a point, though. He's like, you're arguing for a man who just fucking almost killed your son.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
But Finn comes in and he's like, well, I didn't kill your son. And we failed in destroying the ship. But you would have.
I love this. Picard's like, listen here, buddy. You done fucked around. Now you about to find out. You whacked the Federation hornet nest and you don't expect a response? But Finn is definitely he's counting on the Federation to respond.
Mm-hmm.
He says the Federation has a lot to admire, but there's a moral cowardice in the way you deal with non-aligned planets.
Ooh.
You're doing business with a government that is crushing us, and you say you're not involved? You're deeply involved. You just don't want to get your hands dirty. Oof.
Wow.
What a scathing indictment.
And then and I have to think about how many times the U.S. has done that.
Amen.
Like we supplied weapons to some, and we're like, we don't care what you're using it for. It's none of our business. But we are supplying weapons and things like that are going to eventually end up oppressing people.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Finn says that having Picard here, getting the Federation more involved, that helps him. This way, the Federation starts pushing to get Picard and Crusher back, and the harder they push, the more concessions the Rutian government will make until eventually he just gets what he wants and he wins.
And Picard's like, I'm not going to cooperate. And Finn's like, well, so you already have.
You're here.
We got you. So back on the D, Troy is just walking around and Finn jumps in just in the front of her. And he's like, I'm not here to hurt you. I just want to let you know your people are safe. And we demand an embargo and trade sanction levied on Russia. He wants the Federation to blockade the planet. No ships should be let in or out. And this will continue until the government of Russia consents to talks. But it's got to be mediated by the Federation.
Wait, what? All this shit he's been talking about, the Federation, this and that, whatever, and now I would not have expected him to choose the Federation as the mediators.
Yeah. Because to hear him tell it, they're the big bad as well. So
yeah, you're allied with our oppressors. Why would I want you to be the mediator?
But that tells me that he never really believed that they were that they were allied. Otherwise, why would you want them to be the mediator?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep. He gives her 12 hours and he flashes away just as some UC gold shirts round the corner.
Too late.
But up on the bridge, that movement was just enough for Wesley to trace the power supply. They've got the caves, 300 kilometers from the city, 30 meters below ground. They can also tell that there are no passageways from the surface, which means their light must be generated artificially. So maybe if they can take the power down, then maybe we can sneak in and go find our people. Just then, a recently recovered Worf arrives on the bridge and asks to join the rescue mission.
He got a bone to pick. That bitch shot me in the leg.
And with a promise to Wes that they'll be bringing his mom and Picard home, they head off to transport down.
I'm sorry. If I'd only gone back to the ship.
Should have beamed you up.
You wouldn't dare.
Oh, yes, I would, and should.
Without my permission.
If you don't follow orders.
If you'd give reasonable orders, I'd obey.
Doctor, I will be the judge of what is reasonable.
In the caves, Finn's like, seems like you're happy to see your captain. Something a little more going on there? You guys fucking? Well, I may have to kill him. Just wanted you to know. And Crusher is trying to convince Finn that, Picard can help you if you just, if only Picard could see that your cause is just. But Finn puts that back on her. You'll have to convince him of that, not me. And Finn tries to play the if our positions were reversed thought experiment. But Crusher's like, first of all, motherfucker, our positions wouldn't be reversed because my boo thing would never abduct you or play games with your life. You've scared the hell out of me and controlled me through fear. Is that all you got? Fear? And he says, no, but fear is a pretty good weapon. But he doesn't want her to fear him. In fact, he's been spending all his free time drawing her face and eyes on his sketch pad.
That makes me fear you more, you fucking weirdo.
Creepy as fuck, yeah.
I mean, sorry. But yeah, he's trying to humanize himself to her and to the audience. But I'm like, yeah, no. Anybody can draw.
Not that well, but anybody can draw, I suppose.
Yeah.
Elsewhere in the caves, a combination Federation Rutian party beams in. Worf and one Rutian sneak up behind some guys and incapacitate them quietly, and they gather back up just outside the main area and identify the generator. Crusher comes into the room where she and Picard have been occupying, and he starts asking about that dimensional shift. How dangerous would it be for us to go through that again? And she doesn't really know, but Picard's got escape on the mind and asks if she's gained his confidence. So she shows him the sketch pad, and he's like, well, you've definitely gained his confidence. And should I be a little jealous right now? Because I'm feeling a little jealousy right now.
Oh my gosh. And she's like, in case we don't get out of this, there's some stuff I want to tell you, but then boom, the lights go out. So
she's so close to telling him how much she loves her. So close. She's about to say, Jean-Luc, if we don't make it out of this, I just want you to know I'm madly in love with you, and I have been for a long time.
And I'm pregnant with your son, with your other son. No.
No. No, not yet, I don't think. She was pregnant during this season, though, wasn't she? Like
Not
the actual...
This season? Maybe not.
I think so.
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. People start scrambling as the lights go out, trying to get emergency power on. We see Finn sneak off, probably headed toward Beverly and Jean-Luc. And meanwhile, Riker and Worf start Star Trek fighting. Everybody will Star Trek fighting.
Ha!
Alexana spots Picard and Crusher down a tunnel, but before she can get there, Finn comes in between them and points his gun at Picard. And there's a tense moment as Beverly pleads, but Alexana shoots him in the back and Finn drops to the ground. And Crusher goes to him and says he's dead, Jim.
Oh my god! They've killed
Kirill Finn.
you bastards!
And Riker's like, you didn't have to kill him. I mean, shot in the back, no less. But she decides that it's better for him to die a martyr than for them to take him into custody, and then all this focus on violence. People are gonna do more violence to try to free him. And then hopefully the death toll is gonna go down.
She says it's an imperfect solution for an imperfect world.
Oh, and then what's sad is that little boy that was helping Crusher heal everyone. He picks up a weapon and he's gonna blow Alexana away. And Crusher appeals to him, and she's like, no more killing. And he does put the gun down.
Alexana thinks that was a prime example of how there's always another terrorist leader waiting to take the place of the one you just removed. But Riker points out that he could have killed her, but chose not to, and that makes him different. He says maybe the end begins with one boy putting down his gun.
Yeah.
I feel like we've seen this chair chat before. Beverly steps off the turbo lift, Wes turns around, the music swells, and they embrace. But there's a fun button at the end of this one. They're hugging, and Picard's like, well, Mr. Crusher, let's get the hell out of here. And a few beats go by, and he adds, at your convenience.
Love it.
Reunited, and it feels so good. Off to the next adventure.
Boy, I'm sure glad that's over with.
I'll be glad to be relieved of this cargo.
Me too.
It is done, and perhaps just as well.
Yeah, but I learned something today.
I sincerely hope that this is the last time that I find myself here.
You just don't get it, do you, Jean-Luc? You see, of all the species, yours cannot abide stagnation. Change is at the heart of what you are. That is the exploration that awaits you. Not mapping stars and studying nebula, but charting the unknown possibilities of existence.
It was good. That was actually a good episode.
Yeah, this is an interesting episode because it could have said so much more. I think you and I will take away much more from it because we're looking for things to take away.
Yeah.
So things like history has shown us that strength may be useless when faced with terrorism.
Yeah. And terrorism works. I mean,
yeah.
Well, It sort of does. It doesn't always.
Mm-hmm.
It's in our case, it works to demonize the terrorists when we really don't know what they want. They just want to death to the West. We don't know what terrorists want a lot of times.
Yeah. Yeah. And the big underlying question, the data asks is like, is terrorism acceptable at any point? But
Yeah.
specifically when, you've tried all the peaceful options
Yeah.
and all that's left is if you have been this is the thing that I can understand, that I
Yeah.
can sympathize with.
Mm-hmm.
You've been screaming for so long, trying to get someone to hear
Yeah.
your pleas, and
Yep.
you have been ignored at every turn. And so you feel like, what can we do to get these people to fucking listen to us?
Attention. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I think there are people that just want to cause harm, but there are good
Mhm.
people who were good people, but they've resorted to this because they feel like no one's listening. It is unfortunate on
Yeah.
both sides, and it shouldn't happen. I'm not, and
Mhm.
I don't want it to happen, and I'm not saying it's okay, but I get it. I get it.
Yeah. Well, and I don't think the episode does either. Like, there are some people who would argue that terrorism is never acceptable in any form, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Others would argue that sometimes you have to set the house on fire to get people to pay attention.
Right.
And I think in a classic Star Trek way, this episode doesn't pick a side. It's just like, hey, think about this for a little while.
Yeah, and I think just to make people understand the other
Mhm.
side's point of view.
Mhm.
Not there's never a cut and dry black and white answer, because people are complicated. We're
Yeah.
just so complicated that there's never gonna be a black and white cut and dry answer.
Yep. And that's the next part of this for me is separating the people from the actions. Alexana says these are not people, they're animals. And again, we have this theme of how we all have a view of the other,
Mm-hmm.
but those views are almost always deeply biased. And until you sit down with somebody different from you, it's hard to see any similarities
Right.
between you.
Mhm.
And as I say all the time, we are often far more alike than we are different.
Yeah, yeah. And the minute you start referring to them as animals and dehumanizing them, then you're gonna get farther and farther away from empathy and being able to come to the table and
Yep.
talk.
Yeah. And I want to pull a thread on something else you said earlier, which is, what if we were to change the word terrorism to political violence or violent protest,
Mm-hmm.
right? Even the words themselves come with baggage. And that's something we're seeing literally today as the American right tries to paint the American left as terrorists, when the American left might describe itself as nonviolent protesters. Like, that's a key difference today. And I
Mhm.
made Antifa jokes today, but literally the right tries to say that Antifa is a violent terrorist organization, when the truth is that they're the ones gunning down innocent civilians in the streets of America.
Right. In Minnesota, they're throwing dildos at ICE. And
Mhm.
I mean, they're not throwing rocks. They're
Mhm.
not throwing, stuff, bombs or anything. They're throwing fucking dildos,
Uh-huh.
which I love. And I watched a
Yes.
video where someone took aim so well that an ICE was driving by and they had the window open and the guy in the car had his phone videotaping, and some genius marksman threw a dildo and knocked that phone right out of his hand.
Oh,
And I'm just
amazing.
like, and then there was just dildos everywhere in the streets.
Yep.
And I mean, and I love that. I absolutely love that, and I support that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
support it. I support it.
What we don't get here, again, is any kind of resolution or next steps.
No.
Does the Federation provide mediation? Do these people just go right back to the way things were before this episode? Did the people of this planet, on either side, learn anything meaningful that might move them closer together, closer to change?
Yep. You know what? I don't mind it. I actually don't mind that they didn't wrap it up into a nice, neat little bow,
Mhm.
because this stuff isn't solved overnight, and it's rarely ever a nice, neat bow.
Yep.
So, and hopefully it just makes us think.
Yeah. Well, I think you and I have been kinder to the episode than the people who even made it, because I read that Melinda Snodgrass, the episode's writer,
Mhm.
was displeased with this one because originally it was supposed to be about the American Revolution, where Picard realizes that he's one of the oppressors.
Mm.
But she was told to make it more of an analogy to Northern Ireland
Mhm.
instead. And then we just lost the bite of that Picard part.
Yeah.
Like the realization of, like, Bev tried to get it through to him by
Yeah.
providing the other side with anything, medical supplies or weapons or whatever. Like, we're a part of this. We're involved.
Yeah.
And that moment of like realization of Picard being like, oh, fuck, we really have taken sides here. And maybe that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Got lost in the rewrites.
Yeah. Yeah. But like, oh shit, we are the bad guy. And when the D is going around the galaxy giving help and shit, they don't know what it's for. You need weapons, you need this. We don't know what it's for, but we'll give it to you. And I think maybe they need to be asking questions like, what are you using this for? Is it going to be used to oppress someone?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah, and I can be very kind in the assumption that, like, oh, we're just providing medical supplies to people who are hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But in doing so and not trying to understand what's happening with the two sides,
Right.
you're picking a side in a way. And
Yeah.
yeah. And yeah, this episode just really fell short of saying anything other than, like, terrorism is bad, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But I think that you and I have dug deeper into it and come away with a lot more than even the writers thought they were saying.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. But I do love that, like, Beverly, no matter what happens, no matter how much danger she's in,
Yeah.
she's gonna fucking try to save somebody's life. You know, that's a real humanist quality.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of my way. I'm going to help people who are hurting, no matter who they are or what they've done or.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have some folks to put in the ground this week.
We do. I wrote a rhyme about it.
Mm-hmm.
Want to hear it?
Yes.
Here it goes.
We're here together to honor our friend and comrade. We will all find time to grieve for her in the days that are ahead. But for now, she has asked that we celebrate her life with this.
Rebel Base. Here we go. Minding their biz at the Plaza Cafe, and saw the rebels roll in and ruin the day. Detonated a bomb, and we would soon discover the target of the operation was Dr. Crusher. Kirill Flynn was the name of her captor. And Crusher wanted to know what the fuck was he after. They was using technology that was killing them slow, but it gave them an edge against the Russia Po-Po. Dr. Crusher took a look, but she couldn't save them, and they wouldn't let her go, and she couldn't persuade them. The D was in the middle, just bringing med supplies, but then accused them of being Russia allies. So they transported to the D, went on a shooting spree, planted a bomb, took Picard, and they killed 3. But Riker and a team, they snuck into their cave, took out the power. Bev and Jean-Luc were saved. But at the last minute, Finn was shot in the back. They'd rather have him as a martyr than to endure more attacks. Was it good versus evil? Well, the lines were blurred. With the barrel of a gun, no one is heard. Word.
Ooh. So good. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace to the 3 Starfleet guys that were killed, and to Flynn, and to all the other senseless deaths.
We can handle all the pleasantries later. Now, let's get down to business.
I am willing to pay handsomely for you.
I think you've had a little too much to drink.
Now, what do you know about my money?
Your money?
The money he stole!
You stole his money?
Those vouchers I gave you were every bit as good as Latinum.
You can spend Latinum almost anywhere. Those vouchers are only good at your bar.
As always, we want to thank everybody who supports the show, and a special shout out to our founding admirals at Patreon. A special thanks to Ali, Peter, Sarah D, Bruce, the Bear and Currid podcast, and some call him Tim. Thank you all so much for supporting the show.
Thanks, patrons.
Captain, Starfleet Academy is requesting an update on our estimated arrival.
Finalists, please take your seats.
I must admit you have a very fast mind.
Once I realized it was a trick question, there was only one answer.
Although only one student will be chosen for the Academy, any of you could easily qualify. Candidates, good luck.
You got called to the superintendent's office. It's a story I'd like to hear.
Becca's back now with the answer to this week's Starfleet Academy Cadet Challenge question for the high ground. Remind everyone what the question was.
What 90s era glass ceiling did the production of this episode break?
We said something about producers and directors or something, but I have no idea.
You said it was directed by a woman.
Okay.
That was your guess.
Oh.
All right. So this is the first episode of the Star Trek franchise to be both written by a woman, Melissa Snodgrass, and directed by a woman, Gabrielle Beaumont. The only other Star Trek episode to be completely written and directed by women is Exile, which wasn't until 2003, written by Phyllis Strong and directed by Roxanne Dawson. But all other Trek episodes directed by women were either written by men or co-written by a team of male writers.
Wow.
Or male or female writers. So I'm going to give you half a point because you got one.
Affirmative.
Woohoo!
And I'm pretty sure I didn't say anything. I don't know what I said.
You said same.
Yeah, we were in agreement.
Cool. Okay. That sounds good.
Yeah. And hey, Star Trek, more women, please. The fuck, man?
I mean, well, they do now.
Yes.
But
Oh, yeah.
This was 90s.
Yes.
So.
All right, next time on Humanist Trek, we will review Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 3, Episode 13, Deja Q. Oh, Q's back. The crew is surprised by the appearance of their mischievous nemesis, Q, which tells me absolutely nothing.
is this the one where the female was trying to get away from him? That's
a different show, Allie.
What's her name? The Q's girlfriend. This wasn't it? Okay, never mind. What's this one about?
This is about.
That's all she had. They were surprised.
I have no idea.
Fuck me.
You know the lady that was trying to get away from Q because she traveled with him and he was in love with her.
Are you talking
What's her
about
name?
Vosh?
Yeah, Vosh.
No, we haven't
This
even
is
met
not
her
Vosh.
yet. No,
Oh, okay.
No.
I have no idea what this is about.
She first shows up in Captain's Holiday,
Okay.
I believe. This may have been that there was, I don't fucking know. Is this the one where his son? No, that's in Voyager. Whatever. What's our question for Deja Q?
Well, I have good news.
It has nothing to do with any of that.
No.
I like these odds.
50% chance that you're going to get it right because it's a yes or no question.
Okay, great. I like these odds.
Yeah.
Did John Delancey film the Q nude scene fully nude or not? So nude or not nude?
Yes, nude.
Oh, was he like? Oh, okay.
Because he had like a face in front of his schlong.
And he was laying like this somewhere.
I don't know. Surely he wasn't actually nude.
You're changing your answer? I just typed your answer.
But because of the way you asked it, it makes me believe, yes, he would do it.
To shock people, I'll say yes. Yeah, let's.
I'm gonna say yes.
Just to shock people.
Yeah, well, and was it for like the shock of the scene, like Picard turns around and is like, "Oh shit," and to get that real reaction, you know?
Yep. And there's your dick. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
The cutting room floor, the boners, the bonus clips.
The boner clips. Yeah.
God. All right. Well, if you want to get nude, you can get naked with us. Head out to your social media and share this episode with the hashtag Starfleet Challenge. And next time we'll get naked and review Star Trek: The Next Generation, Season 3, Episode 13, Deja Q.
It's a good day to die naked.
Beverly.
Humanist Trek is available wherever you replicate your podcast. Follow us on all the social medias at Humanist Trek. Become a patron at patreon.com/humanisttrek. Open hailing frequencies to podcast@humanisttrek.com and visit our website, humanisttrek.com. Humanist Trek is a production of Sarah Austin Media.